What's up, it's B the Installer. I'm here to install a massive 75-inch X950h and a Sonos Arc on the wall. As you can see, I'm almost there, but let's take you back to the beginning and see how it's done. The feet, they just pop right in. It's very easy to put these feet in. They just slide right in. A couple screws. Take out the screws, put the little plugs in. They got plugs. The other ones are down there. Fill their holes. Then we'll use just a cheap flat mount here by Everstone to hang this sucker. I did a video about these TV mounts that are inexpensive. Check it out. There you go. Brackets. The part with the pull tab is the bottom. The hook is on top. So this goes on the outside there. There we go. Now, we got an issue on the wall because the power outlet's there. So that's why I chose this mount, because the mount is actually open right here. So if I need to put it over the top of that, it'll work. Whereas the other arm mount they had was going to cover that up. So it's at the end of a room too, so it doesn't need to turn. The only angle you can see the TV is straight on. So because this makes a difference on where I put the bracket, I need to know where the mount's going to be. The mount can be 13 inches. Of the 39, we're going to put it up a little higher because there's going to be a Sonos Arc right here. And so the TV bottom needs to be about right there. So 13 inches for the top of the mount puts it right below the power outlet. So now I can put the brackets on the TV, knowing it's going to work. These LED TVs have an insert that goes in because their TVs are fatter, so got to put these little inserts in there. Just hand tighten them. But I got a screwdriver just to make sure get them in the rest of the way. Beautiful. Beautiful. Now I can, the mount's good. It's going to be on the 13-inch side, so it's going to be under the power outlets just because of the way that was going to set up. If I had to put it covering the power outlets, it would have got the TV like a foot off this mantle, which is not really, or the foot off this fireplace, which is not where I wanted to go. This does have heat come out. They know that. There is going to be a Sonos Arc here. They're going to have to balance having heat come out of this with their own speaker there. I've let them know that's not a great idea, but they're gonna make sure that they don't melt their Sonos Arc. Now I got the brackets on, time to put the mount up. I'm actually gonna move the TV out of here so we have access to this. That's not gonna work. So obviously, between the windows or centered over the fireplace. Should be the same center. Measure from window to window. 93 and change. That's 46 3/4 or so, right about there, center. Gonna double that up. I made a mark right there above that. That's center of fireplace. I'm gonna level those two, plumb it up. if you have a difference, that's only 1/4 inch. If there's a difference, you know, you have to decide if you want to center it over the fireplace to make that aesthetically look good, or if you want to center it between the windows. That's a choice that everyone has to make. Normally, just center it over the thing below it is what's best. Sometimes if there's an offset fireplace in a niche, you center the TV over both, or if there's a window on one side, you got to center it over the fireplace for it to look good, especially with the sound bar, because that's going to go, the sound bar is like the exact same length as this, so it's going to be perfect. It's 50 inches, 49.5 for the sound bar. I'll find the studs real quick. There's a good chance there's a stud on either side of that, and then probably one on the outside, so likely here and here. But let's measure. Let's check it out. I can feel the bump there. So the stud right there. You can feel inside the box, it's right there. Right there. There you go. So stud right there, stud right there. A little closer than 16 inches. It's only about 13, 14 inches, but the power outlet was put there. And then we're gonna set this up like that. Now you wanna have this piece on a stud and that piece on a stud. So if I put it that way, both are gonna be, studs are gonna be on this piece and no studs here, which would have to be toggle bolts. We just flip it around. Now that might not line up. Let's see if we can shift it a little. There we go. Just like that. This mount doesn't have to be perfectly centered because it only grabs 6 inches each way. So it's gonna be like right here and right here. So let's level that up. Normally mark the studs. And the top will be that right there. There you go. Piece of cake. There you go. Got our 4 holes. It's quarter inch bolts. So got multiple 1/4 inch bits. It's the most common bit used for TV mounts is a 1/4 inch. I just do the top 2, and then I can square up the bottom ones later. The handy dandy hexagonal to socket, 4 bolts, 4 washers. Always level and hand tighten. Don't use a drill to tighten it all the way, because you'll just suck the mount in the wall. So I'll put the level on. Look at that. Perfect, of course. Now it doesn't have to be super tight, because if you got to make sure that the washers don't spin behind them. But I'm gonna put 4 bolts on. This thing is gonna be part of the wall. It ain't moving, so you'll be good. I'm just gonna wire up the sound bar and then throw the TV on, throw the sound bar up, and we're good. 13.5 inches down is where it's going to connect, so make a little scratch. That's where the bottom of the TV is. We're going to put down and then have the Sonos arc is about 4 inches or so. So we'll have the sound bar with a tiny little gap, and then we're going to have the TV right below it. It'll create a nice clean look. All this for a little bar. You can connect it in many different places on the wall. A couple of vertical screws, you can move it up and down a little. And then the sound bar just connects right there. It's a very nice mount. They have a little guide for you. You can make sure it's a certain distance under the TV, but they want 4 inches so that the sound can, the Atmos sound can go vertical and not hit the bottom of the TV, assuming your TV sticks out a bunch. So you kind of do this right here. But that's gonna put it a little low. I'm gonna go a little higher because the sound's traveling out, not just straight up. So it's traveling out and it's gonna clear the bottom of the TV. So we'll put it a little bit higher, but you can follow those directions if you want. I guess I should pull out the prize here too. It's a nice looking speaker. And then here are the 2 knobs that go on the Sonos Arc. And these you need, so don't lose those. You can just hand tighten them in. They don't even need to be screwed in with, you don't need to over tighten these. There you go. So we know the studs are right here and right there. See what lines up. Use a toggle bolt if needed, but the studs will be fine too with just the drywall screw or the wood screws that they had. You can use those screws in the stud, but I don't use them in the drywall with those anchors because they're really crappy. That's the bottom of the bracket. Then we can put that here. And that stud won't work because it's going to be right here. So we'll have to level it up and throw a couple toggle bolts in. Got a stud there. We'll put a toggle bolt right here, and we'll put one somewhere on the end there. 2 toggle bolts, 1 stud. Sounds weird. These screws are a little big. We'll have to pre-drill a hole because they're a little too big to just drive straight into the wood. JK. Many times there is a header board. This is built in, so there's an actual board that's a big board going across this. So it's all wood. I thought it was just gonna need a toggle bolt, but when you run into that where you think it's a stud at some point, you know, up here it's drywall, but down here it's all wood. So I'm gonna use 2 of the screws that they gave me and just drill them right in. There you go, and then I'll pre-drill right in the middle of this because I drilled a hole, but I didn't drill into the wood yet. Once I used my 1/2 inch and I felt that there was wood there, I stopped, and now I'll use this and make sure it's level, so you don't want to like come at a weird angle. There you go. So now I have 3 holes, and I can rattle in these screws that they provided. Make sure it's level before I cinch it up. I'd probably just put one more in there just for fun. More is good. Less is more is not true with TV installation. So the cord for a power can't be on the wall, so it needs to have a little plastic strip here. We also have that header board here, which is going to prevent us from hiding it. It's only 1 inch, it'll be fine, and put a little plastic clip over it. You gotta do what you gotta do, you know? The whole problem with putting wires in the wall that aren't in-wall rated is that if that wire is in the wall and there's a fire, it can accelerate the fire if that cord is to melt and then that electrical is exposed, whereas cords that are in-wall rated will slow down the spread of a fire, not accelerate it like non-in-wall rated cords. And non-in-wall rated cords also are subject to splinters where they don't have enough plastic or rubber on them to avoid getting a splinter or a screw through them. Non-in-wall rated cords, no power cords in the wall. All right, so we got the bracket up. It's gonna hook on here. Got the Sonos Arc mount up here. Gonna run the cord up there. So let's go ahead and hang the TV, then I'll hang the soundbar, and then I'll show you the finished product, and we'll see how cool it looks. So you see how high we gotta go? Right in here. There you go. Are you on? No, come on, let me see. I got it, it's fine. Oh yeah, you're good. Yep. Look at that sucker, huh? What a beast. Woo! The black cords will be showing for a bit, and then customer will get a little white piece of plastic to cover them. It's easier to plug the cords into the soundbar before you hang it. That might make sense. You can still reach that infinity button once it's hung, so when you set it up, it's easy to get to. So we got the TV, the soundbar, and the cable box. So I actually am gonna plug in this extension cord. These come in very handy. You can plug 3 different things into one, so it gives you a little more. You can also put a surge protector up there, but it's bulky behind the TV, hard to get. So I'm gonna plug this in because the DirecTV guy has to come a different day. Plug the DirecTV box in, throw that behind the TV, and we'll be set. So let's get this plugged in and we'll fire it up. We actually need a little slack. Need some slack in order to get access down the side. So I'm gonna leave a little slack on purpose in these zip ties so that they can connect. Can you even see what I'm doing? All right, I hope you liked the video. Make sure to smash the like button, subscribe to get more videos like this, and ring the bell to be notified when I upload one. And just like that, you can be the installer.